Our next CrowdProperty.com funding opportunity is returning back to the project at 228 Churchgate in Stockport. That's Manchester SK1 1YA. Now, CrowdProperty is a peer-to-peer lending platform designed to facilitate loans between private individuals and professional property businesses. CrowdProperty is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority under permission number 723959. CrowdProperty is not covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. There are risks with any loans you make, and just like all peer-to-peer lending, your capital is at risk. CrowdProperty endeavours to protect all lenders. This is done by registering the legal first charge against the property project. This means that in the very unlikely event a borrower defaults on the loan, CrowdProperty will be able to take ownership of the project and manage it for the lenders. Now, the borrower on this particular project is Churchgate ACA Limited. Their company number is 122-51974, and that is a joint venture between Astute Capital Advisors Limited and Kevin Patrick. Kevin is also joining us here on this webinar. There's Kevin's details. Welcome along, Kevin. Tell us a little bit more about you and your association with Astute.
My background is qualified civil engineer, qualified in construction and health and safety. Been doing projects for over 40 years now. Worked from being a site engineer up to being a managing director of a very successful property group. Worked in various sectors in the UK and abroad, but mainly in the UK residential market place. On this project, Astute have come in as partners to do the equity funding and any possible overspends, where as Crowd are doing the main development funding.
So talking more about this project, this is a reset of an existing loan where CrowdProperty has already agreed a total facility of £2.375 million. That's to develop this site in Stockport near Manchester. This phase raise is for £1.429 million, and it replaces all phases raised to date, with the loan being varied to allow the borrower additional time to complete the works and the exit. The original loan commenced on the 4th of December 2019, and that was for a term of 18 months. The new extended loan will be extended until the 3rd of June 2022. There have been a number of delays to the build works completely out of the control of the borrower, hence the agreed extension to this existing loan. All lenders will receive interest equivalent to 8% per annum, with the phase 4 lenders term being approximately for 10 months. So let's start off then, please, Kevin. Tell us about the local town of Stockport.
Stockport is obviously just south of Manchester. It has excellent rail links. Manchester Airport isn't too far away, and also the M60 is very close, which connects you very quickly to the M6 to either go north or south, or the M62, which will take you over to the M1. Stockport itself, the locality of where we are, we're practically right in the centre. And the Stockport, to be fair to Stockport MBC, they're encouraging and pushing forward on a complete redevelopment plan. We're located right next to St Mary's Church, a very old church and in a very old area of the town, but right next to the centre. The actual Rostrum Brow, the alleyway down the side of our development, has been used in many a period film, most recently in an episode of Peaky Blinders. So yes, it's an up and coming area, and it's, you know, I'm pleased to be part of doing this development right in the centre there.
Planning permission was granted by Stockport Metropolitan Borough Council, and their planning reference is DC/070503, where the permission was granted to demolish the existing buildings and to build a new building comprising 24 apartments over 3 stories facing Churchgate and a lower 3-storey section facing Harvey Street. The development is a 16,813 square feet of new build. Once the development is completed, the property will give 24 2- and 3-bed dwellings. The exit strategy is that the individual units are going to be sold on completion of the works. The initial marketing has been extremely successful, with all the units being reserved off plan, with a further waiting list as well. Here's the location plan. So you can see on the left-hand side where Stockport is in its relation to Manchester. On the right-hand side, you can see the square site that is what we're talking about on Rosherham Brow for this particular project in Stockport. Property located in the southwestern area of Greater Manchester. Predominantly it's a commercial area, but Stockport itself offers local amenities. You've got pubs, large shopping centres and well-known restaurants and banks as well. It's based in the Great Underbank area of the town centre, and there's 1,000 years of Anglo-Saxon history as a town. And it's also home to the remains of a medieval town wall, which is a minute walk from the site. So here then are some of the projects. Start off, please, Kevin. How did you come across this project?
This project was brought to us by a guy who deals in selling land with planning permission. So it was brought to our attention, and we cast the eye over it, and looked at it, and got some further consultation from planning consultants, and also obviously the sales consultant, who's done extremely well on here, and we decided to progress with it.
Now we're looking at the RICS valuation, and also whether it's a 2-bed or a 3-bed, and the size of the particular flats. But I'm also drawn to the picture on the right-hand side, because of course it's on 2 different levels.
The section plan that you're showing there, to the right-hand side is the Harvey Street block, and as you quite rightly said, Andy, it's a 2-block development. The block on the right is 12 apartments, 12 2-bedroom apartments. The upper block on the left-hand side is 8 2-bedroom apartments, and the top floor are 4 3-bedroom apartments, with a 3rd bedroom being on a mezzanine floor. Underneath the white area that you see underneath the left-hand block is a bin store and a bike store in the plant room for servicing both buildings.
And we've got some more of the flat sizes on the left-hand side of the screen with the different square footage as well. And then we've got a 3rd version of that as well with the remaining properties. Total gross development value, £3.845 million with vacant possession on there. Here are some photos, some computer-generated images of how it's going to look when it finishes. And I think that's the church we can see on the top left, isn't it? Just the side of St. Mary's.
Correct. That's just in the image there. You can see that it's being built in the elevation top right is showing you where it's facing onto the church, and on that elevation we're having to install timber sash windows, so it's all be in keeping with the conservation area. The bottom right shows the roof area of the bottom block, which again is going to be a terraced communal area for all residents, which if you go onto that roof, you're going to have superb views over the city of Stockport. Just going to the left, the bottom left picture, actually the image shows that there's sort of difference in level between the 2 blocks. And in the centre there, that is a stair core linking the 2 blocks together.
You said that you've got these flats reserved. Who predominantly are buying them from you? It's
a mixture of various people. To be honest, there's some investors, but there's also people who are business people who are buying them to commute into Manchester. So there's quite a mix of people buying them, but as you quite rightly said earlier in the presentation, they're all sold, and the sales agent has a list of people waiting to step in case anybody drops out.
The independent monitoring surveyor has been on site monthly. Their latest inspection, I think, was the 16th of February. Where are you up to at the moment then, Kevin?
Obviously, you mentioned delays. We've had quite a number of delays due to various reasons. The image that you're showing currently on the slide is showing that we're starting to put the light gauge steel frame up on the lower Harvey Street elevation. That is still in progress, and we're currently erecting a tower crane on site to be able to enable putting the rest of the tower, rest of the steel frame up. Following on from that, all the other trades, all orders are placed with all the follow-on subcontractors. The images you're showing now is the one on the left with the church in the background is the first section of the tower crane going in. The image on the right is just preparing the ground, ready for to pour the last bit of concrete to the floor slab. Also in the left-hand image, you see all the reinforcement in before the concrete's poured. So yeah, it's progressing. It's starting to progress well now.
So let's then look at a summary of what we're talking about on this particular project. Here's an overview of the project financials and this proposed loan. So this is a reset of the existing loan, which was set up late 2019, totaling £2.375 million. The first phase raise is for £1.429 million. RICS have verified the market value at the start of the project to be £470,000. They also have verified the total gross development value to be £3.845 million. Estimated construction costs are £1.19 million. Lenders are going to be paid interest at the rate of 8% per annum. It's going to be rolled up and paid at the exit. Loan to gross development value, excluding that rolled up interest, assuming it goes the whole loan, it will be 61.8%, and the amount owed at the gross development value, including rolled up interest, is 68.5%. The loan period on this raise is up to the 3rd of June 2022, with this loan targeted to start the week commencing the 31st of March 2021. Remember, the exit strategy is to sell. Marketing's already commenced. We're aware that many of these units have been reserved as well. And the capital interest is going to be repaid to lenders on this one at the end of the project. It's already first charge secured at the land registry. So your next steps then are to make sure that you understand the loan, carry out your own due diligence, and then decide how much you would like to lend. CrowdProperty.com is the place to be to pledge on launch. The necessary anti-money laundering checks will be carried out, and then you'll be invited to send your funds to your own online e-wallet, and you'll start earning interest on completion of the loan agreement. So this is the reset loan, the first phase, where we're looking for £1.429 million. This is for the property at 2 to 8 Churchgate in Stockport, SK1 1YA. Thank you for watching this CrowdProperty.com webinar. We look forward to you joining us again soon for some more funding opportunities back here at CrowdProperty.com.